Okay, in this part, you're going to use the clone tool image out of the photo corrections um, folder. And here we have a couple of knucklehead tourists got in my way in the front of the photo. And what I'd like to do is be able to take these two guys out. And there are a few different options that you can work with, but one of the easiest ones to work with is our clone stamp tool, or clone tool rather, or clone stamp. There we go. It is clone stamp. So if I click on it and just do brush, I get a pop-up that says could not use the clone stamp because the area to clone has not been defined. And then in parentheses it says in order to define it, you have to option click to define a source point. Okay, so notice that when I did something wrong, it tries to correct me. So what I have to do is if I want, I'm actually going to start with him. If I want this guy gone, I need to find the option key on my keyboard. And notice when I do, look how the cursor changes. Okay, now it becomes kind of like a scope. So I can click here, and that is now my source point. And now when I brush, notice how it follows. So I am brushing over him, and I can see from that crosshair where it's coming from. So I can control that and make sure that I don't copy from an area that's not going to work. Okay, and sometimes you have to go back and redefine your point. Okay, so maybe I want to go and increase the size a little bit. And so I can go in and I can come here and I go, okay, let me option click again to define my source point. And then I come over here and sure enough, I have a bigger brush that's allowing me to get rid of that crazy tourist that got in my way. And when I get to where, see, like right here, it started smudging, I know that maybe I need to readjust and maybe I need to go and redefine my point, or maybe I just need to go to a different area and try to brush. I am taking small strokes, and again, you have to be willing to redefine that source point. But now I have that guy gone. So this guy's talking to nobody. Okay? So there I have another option that I can use. I have here what is called the patch tool. And with the patch tool, when I got rid of this tourist, I also got rid of one of these posts here, which isn't necessarily a big deal, but if I want to keep it true to form, maybe I want to put it back. So what I could do when I get that patch tool, notice here that there is some options here. So one of them is source and one of them is destination. So let's say I want to copy the source. So I would make a little selection around this post. Whoops. And then I move it. And basically what it's doing is it's copying from this area and putting it there. Okay. Now, that's not what I want. What I want is destination because I want to make my selection. I'm including that little shadow there. And then if I move it, it's making a duplicate copy of it. And then I can deselect and it looks like it was never missing to begin with. Now, also docked underneath this patch tool is this content area, or sorry, content aware move tool. So I want to get rid of this one extra guy here, okay? And I've got some pretty good content right here that is about the same as him. Now I have two modes. I have move and I have extend. I'm going to choose extend and I'm going to show you why. I'm going to go ahead and start by simply making my selection, and I'm going to be careful not to select those people or him and then come back to the beginning. So I've got my little marching ants, and now if I move and drop it, it's basically taking a copy of what I originally started with and moving it over. And because I chose extend, look, it's allowing me to continue doing that. Okay, and it doesn't have to go straight across. Notice I'm now moving down a little bit because I don't want to get rid of that post. Okay, and now I have, lots of tourists in the background, but nothing in the foreground. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to save this. File, save as, and it's going to go into your Photoshop folder as, of course, period, last name, and originally it said clone tool, but I want you to also add clone patch. Thank you. I couldn't remember what that was. And then the last one was content aware tools. Now I can change that to a plural, tools. And I need to save it first as a Photoshop file, and then I'll come back and save it as a JPEG and hit save and OK. And this one might be a little trickier to go into your scavenger hunt folder. If you have trouble finding something that you can do one or more of these tools on in your scavenger hunt folder, ask me and I can get you another photo, but look in your scavenger hunt folder first.